Hey, we're live and welcome to this week on Magnet Marketers Training Tuesday Live. I'm super excited for this week's show because we're going to be talking about how to maximize your live video content, how to make it craveable. It's one thing to put content out, but how do you get people to come back and want more of it? We're going to be diving into that today, and we have the right guest to do so. But before we introduce our special guest, just a quick hello. If we've not met before, my name is Jessica Phillips with the Relationship Marketing System and Now Marketing Group. And my awesome co-host, Mike Gingrich. He's the president of Digital Hill, the co-founder of the popular app Swaftio, a tab site, published author extraordinaire, and just all things awesome. I want to say hello to you, Mike, and let you introduce our guest while I share this out.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. And hello, Jessica. It's good to be back here on Training Tuesday. And yes, I have the privilege of being able to introduce Rob to you guys. Now, Rob is the social media manager for Thinkific. All right. So you've probably heard of Thinkific. We're going to talk about that. We'll go a little bit more details about it. But first, a little bit more about Rob. He's the social media and community manager. Manages the daily curation of Thinkific's message across the social channels. And you'll find him engaging in his their private online community of just 14,000. No, that's great. 14,000
only.
Yeah, for their online course creators. Wow, that's awesome. Inside it's the Thinkific Studio Facebook group, right? Is that what it's called there?
That's right.
And Rob, you've been with them since 2016, so been around a while doing these pieces, digging into things. And we're kind of excited to talk about, craveable video content today. Definitely want to learn a little bit more, make sure our audience knows about Thinkific and some of those pieces there. So welcome, Rob.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, glad to be here on this show. So super excited to dig into videos. I love video content in general. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Great. So Jessica's pushing it out. So if you are here, then just make sure, give us a shout out then. So we know you're on the Facebook Live page there. Again, we'll follow that. So if you have questions for Rob along the way, we'll try to mix those in and cover it all so that it's a engaging community conversation for everyone.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And Rob, we met because of something unique that you guys are doing that I would love for you to talk about your process. And we're kind of touching all these aspects of what you guys are doing at Thinkific because I think it's brilliant. But how we connected is I seen a post on Instagram and it was just you asking for people that you should interview about a subject matter. And so I'm starting listing all my friends, that I thought would add extreme value and people that I knew on the space. And you're replying to everyone kind of real time. And then somebody mentions my name and lo and behold, then I get a message from you and a conversation starts. Then I'm on your show at Thinkific. And I'm just been coming back to that show. Even before my show, I wanted to kind of get familiar with what you guys were doing. But I've been now coming back time and time again. And it seems that, though, a lot of channels I go to, one, and I kind of see the content, and then I either see the same exact thing on other channels, or I don't see it at all, right? And you guys have done a well-rounded blend of taking some of the things that you were doing on Instagram, asking the community, some of the things you're doing on Facebook with then getting the live show going and YouTube Live, but then doing something cool on LinkedIn that is driving the engagement even back again. So I would love to just kind of pick your brain, so to speak.
Yeah.
But first, why video? Why video for Thinkific?
Yeah. Good question. Video's everywhere now, right? So, even back in the day when I was in school, like if you had to do a report rather than reading the book, you're like, oh, there's a movie on this book. I'm just going to watch the video. I'm just going to watch the movie. So, as far as like our course creators and our community consuming content, probably just like anybody else, they would prefer video. So we use videos in everything. We use videos in training materials. We use videos on social media, of course. We do live streams. We even use videos to answer emails. So there's some really cool tools out there like Loom or Vidyard, which allows you to integrate into Gmail, and then you can just record a video inside of Gmail, and then for me, it's a lot faster than typing, and it's more personal. So yeah, we do, even outreach, so even with Jessica, you probably got a video from me when we first connected, or it's like, hey, good to connect with you. Would love to, hop on and see how we can collaborate and do, cool things together. So yeah, videos. I mean, and then if you look at statistics, right? So if you look at like, YouTube statistics and how many users are on YouTube, how many videos are uploaded and consumed on YouTube and Facebook, every single day, it's just mind blowing. So, that's where your customers are. That's where your audience is hanging out. So why not meet them there? So that's why we use videos.
I love it. First of all, that's so relationship minded. So, we're going to jam out on that.
Yeah.
But second, like I've been, just because it's pattern interrupts, right? Like you in a way to stand out, and I'm probably going to freeze again. Oh, no. Okay, we're good. But pattern interrupts, if you're used to the same kind of message, same old, you're interrupting a normal pattern and it stands out, but in a good way. And you're building that more human connection. I know we were sending voice memos back and forth today, and that's another one that's like kind of been cool, but super smart to tie that into the brand and to personalize and get people to, resonate with you right away and feel comfortable before they're going to be on video with you or potentially putting their whole course on there, because now they're getting a sense of who you are and a little bit more about the brand and speeding up that trust, right? I love it.
That's right. It's just so much more personal, right? So rather than typing words, I think there were studies, and I mean, it's a no-brainer, but even executives, if they were given the same content, whether it's video or text, they're going to gravitate to the video. So yeah, it's just so much more personal, and especially in this day and age where, you want to automate and scale so many things, videos, it's personal, right? It's like the closest thing versus like, actually being in front of that person. The videos, videos are the next best thing, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed. Agreed wholeheartedly. Yes.
Yeah.
And I am super fan. And if social's shown us anything over the past 5 years, is that video is growing at a rapid rate, right? Like it's integrated everything, and there's so many ways of using it. You just mentioned email, right? And of course we talked about you doing it on social, but how are you guys really, doubling down on video as it relates to like what you're doing with your role and getting people to really come back to Thinkific's content?
Yeah. So good question. I love that. You touched on, we had you on our live stream. So we had this crazy idea. Actually, it wasn't our idea. It's not original. It was middle of November last year. One of our partners, Eric Su, who is out of LA, he uses Thinkific for his courses and for his agency. And he's like, hey guys, you guys want to hop on a quick Facebook Live with me? We're like, okay, well, where do you want us to meet? Zoom, whatever. He's like, no, let's just go on our phones. Like, just go on Thinkific's channel on your phone. And then I'll go live, and then just join me. I'll bring you on as a guest. So we did it, and there was like all this engagement with this. We didn't know that was sitting there. People wanted to engage with the brand. But beyond that, they want to engage with the people behind the brand, right? So we're like, after that, we were like, why don't we do this every day? So we created a calendar link, right? So we use Calendly. And so we created a calendar link for like a 20-minute meeting. And we started reaching out to some of our partners, some of our course creators. They're like, hey guys, we have this really crazy idea that we would go live on Facebook every day, Monday to Friday. And there we go. So we kind of like slowly evolved. So we were on our mobile first. And then we're like, okay, how do we like maximize this more? So we started using Zoom, and then we were on just Facebook Live on our brand page, and then we started sharing that on our personal pages, our Facebook group, and so on. And then we're like, okay, well, how about YouTube? Like, how do we get on YouTube with the same amount of effort? And so one of our friends recommended this tool called Restream.io, where you can simulcast to other channels. And so we use Restream now to then simulcast the same live to YouTube, because we have a following on YouTube as well. And to be honest, like our target audience is also sitting on YouTube, right? Content creators and experts. And so that's where we are now. And so, it's been a really fun thing to do. We get to engage with people at scale, I suppose, if you want to call it that, and be personal. We're engaging with our audience as well. Not just existing customers or course creators, but also people that are curious about, how do you create courses? What's the steps? How do you do this? Is it really a thing? Are people really making money creating and selling online courses. And so for them to meet people and engage with them, our course creators in real life, in real time, it's a kind of a cool experience. So yeah, we're definitely doubling down on that in 2019. So we're seeing how other ways we can do more live streams that way. Yeah.
I love Restream.io, you said?
Restream.io.
I am going to check that out because it's, some of the others, it's like Wirecast and some of them that are out there, it's so complicated. You're like, oh, forget it. I'm just going to go like Facebook Live or Instagram Live, whatever. Yeah. But that makes sense because, I mean, honestly, like I've been looking at YouTube too, because I'm like, that's where search engine optimization is, right? It's the only like live channel of video that really is giving rich search results, unless you're, doing something on your website. So super smart of you to stream there, especially because you've taken the time to know that's where our audience is too. So it really makes sense for us to be where our audience is. Go figure.
Totally. Yeah, if you're somebody that wants to get into videos and live and creating content, like this is a huge problem for myself. Even it's like editing, right? So it's like, I have to edit after and make it look nice. But what I find is to take away that editing aspect of creating video content, just go live, right? Just go live. You don't have to edit. And it's a great way to understand your audience as well, right? Because it becomes a conversation. So that engagement aspect of it, you get to ask like, hey, what do you guys think of, this? What do you guys think about email marketing? And how are you guys doing it now? What's the struggles with that? So it's like, if you guys aren't doing live streams, anybody watching, you should definitely test it out and see, because your audience is there and they want to hear from you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Good stuff. Now, like you talk also about doing some repurposing. So I don't want to get ahead of us here, but I think I'm really curious about that. So, ways that you might take something that you did live, or just other ways. How are you kind of maximizing that?
Yeah, good question. So obviously, you want to be. I think 2019. One of the things is be omnipresent. You have to be everywhere, right? That's just the way it is on social now. So whether, for us, I'm just speaking sort of from our experiences, our channels are YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, Twitter as well, to some degree. So one of the basic things is I kind of go from the longest form of video, and then, taking that to the channels where you would then make it the shortest form. So if it's YouTube, right, that's the longest form videos, YouTube, and also your Facebook Live. You can't just take those videos and then repurpose it and post it on Twitter because it's too long. You can't just take those videos and put it on Instagram stories, right? Because it's too long. It's not the right orientation. So you do have to put some thought into how you're going to take a long form video and then, shorting it down and putting in the right, sort of the right orientation for the platform that you are putting it on. So, what I would do is, what we typically do is we take the YouTube video, you have the Facebook Live video as well. So, you got to put thumbnails to make them look nice and obviously on brand. And then you can then take little snippets, right? So little 10-second, 15-second snippets of it. And then you can post that on LinkedIn, right? You can then say like, hey, for the full video, click the link in the first comment. You can also take those videos and then you can use Instagram stories, right? So, you can't just post it on there though. So what you can do is, what we typically do is create sort of a teaser using mobile that's vertical and say like, hey guys, just had a really good interview with Jessica and Mike. You can find it in our YouTube channel. We talked about repurposing videos. Click the link in the description. So on Instagram TV, you can do that. If you have Instagram stories, you can do the swipe ups. So, really being intentional with how you are pushing people to that video. At the same time too, you got to understand the platforms and sort of the mindset of the people that are going through, the different social channels that you're on. If they're on YouTube, they're probably, ready to invest, 10, 15, 20 minutes to watch a longer video. Whereas if they're on LinkedIn, they're not going to do that, right? They're just kind of scrolling through. They're not going to stop and watch 20 minutes of your video. So, you got to understand sort of the mindset of the people on the different, platform. That same person on YouTube has more time on YouTube. And then if they go on Instagram, you don't have that time. So you have to just kind of start leading them down that funnel to your YouTube video or your Facebook Live videos. So
that's so smart. I love how you say put a teaser out. Like I've seen this, of course, with yours, and then even like funny moments or snippets that happened in the conversation. So like even if you didn't do an intro, like I've seen Stephanie Liu. Have you met her? Interviewed her yet? Okay, phenomenal. Love her.
Great.
And she's with Mike Alton and Herman and Amanda doing the 360 like marketing squad thing, and they'll take like a funny clip. I've seen them doing like the baby shark, mama shark, daddy shark like bit, and like putting some of the audio with their facial expressions and things that happened during the show and like mimicking it to make it funny, or taking one of the clips out of it that you're like, where in the world did this context come from this video to kind of make it viral and fit that platform, right? So I love that. I love that you're saying like even make a teaser, because like what they've done that worked for Instagram. You're like, what the heck? And you want to watch it to see how that reaction came to be. On LinkedIn, you have just a moment and you're saying like, here's the nuggets that you're going to get out of it, and here's who we did it with. This is why you're going to want to watch it. So that is definitely something I'm going to start putting into practice, because you're right. Like, you don't want to just share the link, and you may not have time to do like a full on secondary video, like in full, or try to make what you already did work with that platform. So really good tip there.
Totally.
Curious as well. Follow-up question with LinkedIn then, and that is, because I often get this question from others. So let's see what your experience is for sharing it on LinkedIn. Is it personal profile, company page, both and?
Well, if you have a company page, definitely put it on your company page. I find the company page doesn't get as much reach for the same, all things being equal. Company pages just don't get as much reach. I think LinkedIn's whole, behind the scenes, I think what they want to do is make it really personal. It is very business and career and work oriented as a platform. So, personal pages seem to have more reach. So yeah, definitely but put it on your business page as well. What you could also do is put it on your business page and then share it using your personal page from your business page. That way it kind of, ties back to your business page as well, and people may start getting aware of your business page. But yeah, put it there. Also, what I would suggest on LinkedIn is it's very easy to just post, let's say your YouTube video you want to share on LinkedIn. It's very easy to just take that YouTube link and then put it into the LinkedIn, post box, and then it'll give you the preview, right, the thumbnail from your YouTube video. What I would suggest, because LinkedIn doesn't want, and I mean really any social platform, they don't want you to leave their platform. So if you put an external link on the post, the algorithms will give it less weight, right? So you'll get less reach. So what I would suggest is just take, let's say for YouTube, you'll have a thumbnail already, hopefully, right? You've created a JPEG or an image thumbnail. Post that thumbnail on LinkedIn as an image, and then tell people to find the link to the YouTube video in the first comments. Right? So it'll just prevent LinkedIn from being unhappy with you and giving you less reach. So this is something we've tested, every now and then, just putting the YouTube video there, and then versus the image, and we seem to be getting more reach with the image.
Got it.
Yeah,
playing by the rules and still getting what you want out of it. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's smart.
Yeah,
I'm like taking notes over here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the other thing I want to mention too, which a lot of people are missing, are closed captions. Closed captions are so, like, it's the key, right? Because a lot of, I think the stats for Facebook videos, I think 85% of Facebook videos are being watched without sound, right? I think that was a study done late last year. So if you don't have closed captions, then people are just going to scroll through. But if you have closed captions, obviously, then they'll stop. And at least if they're on the train or commuting or, even at work where maybe they're not supposed to be on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, then they'll still be able to consume your content and stay on there. So there's some really easy tools, like there's rev.com or temi.com where you can get these closed captions for fairly cheap. Yeah.
That's awesome. I was just going to ask you what tool that you use to do that, and how you like use your closed captions, because you're right. Like, I watch a ton of videos that way. Like, pretty much every Goldcast video, like, what I'll watch, because they like tell the story that way. But yeah, I didn't know like how to always get the captions in it. So that's really, really smart.
Yeah. I mean, Facebook, I think if you upload Facebook videos, they'll also transcribe it. But you have to do it by hand because there's a lot of errors. But if you just go to temi.com, I think it's 10 cents a minute, and it's AI, and it's like, I would say it's 99% accurate. So yeah, just do that.
Nice.
10 cents a minute. Wow.
Yeah, it's super cheap. 10 cents a minute. Or I think it's rev.com's sort of like sub company. Rev.com is like real people transcribing, which is I think 100% and $1 a minute. Versus the 10-cent AI, just do that. So have
you ever tried like Apple Clips? I know some people are talking about that as well, that they've tried that. Have you?
No, I haven't. I've heard that before. I'm an Android guy, so maybe that's why.
Okay, I know, the show ends now. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
Just my phone. I'm a MacBook guy, so.
Okay. Redemption.
We'll keep going.
I'm just kidding. So you talked about a few different elements here, right? Like, so video for sure, and repurposing it, knowing the platform, knowing the audience, and, a way of kind of bringing everyone to the table, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that's how you're getting it out, right? You're creating the content. But what have you found after creating all these videos is the key that people really want to really keep coming back for more? Like, to make it truly craveable. Like, this is great, value added, but am I going to forget it? Like, why do I want to keep coming back?
It's a good question. I think about that all the time. So I think if you really boil it down, people want to hear stories, right? Ever since we were kids, people, they just love being told stories, right? Bedtime stories, all these things. You like listening to TED Talks because these guys tell you stories, experiences. So if you can share stories, not even your own stories, but that's why you have guests. Bring guests in, bring customers in. How did you use our platform? How did you succeed with it? What was life before and what was like after? So tell the stories because people relate to stories. Also teach, right? Bring value by teaching. So, people always say, deliver value. So what is value? So value is when you teach something, right? So you help somebody learn something new that they can apply, whether it's a skill, whether it's, how to make small talk. Like these are things that you can teach. And then be entertaining. That's why people go on YouTube. They want to either learn something and, understand how to do this DIY thing or like fix this problem or whatever. Or they want to be entertained. They want to kill some time. They want to go on social media and because they have a coffee break and they want to be entertained. So I'm not so good at entertaining, but I can teach. So that's kind of what we lean on.
No, but you and Patty have a really good balance each other. You always look like you're having a great time, and it's fun. Like if you browse through and you even watch some of the video on live, you can see you guys laughing and smiling and you feel the energy through the screen. I think people are drawn into that. They can tell whether or not you're having a good time or not, and what the energy is like right there. So I think that's a good point too. Like if you do want to be entertaining or, you feel like you want that element, if that's not you and you are the teacher, then you bring in kind of a counterpart, right? So to kind of balance it out.
Yeah, the way you guys are doing, right? It's it's a lot easier that way. Yeah, for sure.
Mike's my translator because I just ramble about stuff, and he's like, "Here's what she meant to say." He makes it concise. So it works.
No, it works. It's great. Sorry, the one thing I also wanted to mention was engagement. So with the live stream specifically, I think if you engage with people, the audience, and you address them like they're in the room, and you're not just they're not just an audience sitting on the side, they're gonna stick around, right? So if you welcome them, like, hey, Mike, nice to see you here today on the live. Hey, Jessica, do you have any questions for us? And then you start talking to them that way. They're not going to leave, I mean, very unlikely. You're like, hey, that's a really good question. Let me answer it. Of course, you're going to stay around and listen to the answer. So engagement, that's a great way to make the content craveable. Now they've felt like you care. And then if you have another live stream, then they'll probably come back and like, hey, maybe I can ask some more questions. So
really, really good point there.
Yeah.
You mean you don't go live and say, we're going to wait for some more people to join first before it's worth my time? Like,
never. I'm just going to wait. We need at least 100
that's like
people.
a pet peeve. It's like shared out.
Yeah.
I need at least 10 more of your friends to.
Yeah, totally. You know what's working? You know what I've been testing in the last couple of weeks? I'm kind of late to the party, but like literally, it's watch parties. I don't know if you guys have been playing with watch parties at all on Facebook. But yeah, as far as like engagement, obviously we have a global user base. So we typically go live, during business hours here on the West Coast. So I've been testing doing watch parties. I'm going to actually do yours, Jessica. Your interview in the next couple of days is doing it in the evening our time, which would be like daytime in Australia and like London and Asia. And it's been interesting. I've been testing it a couple of times, and we get a different set of users coming. And it's content that we've already done. Yeah. But you just get to now engage with a different, set of, audience members. So
can you, for people that may not be familiar with Watch Party, explain what it is and how you use it?
Yeah, I should have done that. It's basically it's it's like, how do you even explain it, Jessica? I don't know. I think so. Basically, you can go into your Facebook page or even your personal page or your group, and you can find Watch Party. It's it's one of the types of posts that you can make, and so you click Watch Party, and then you can select one of the videos that you have or any other videos on Facebook. And then you go live, and not live. You say, okay, start the watch party. And then your friends can join you, or the other group members can join you to watch that video together. You can even turn your cameras on, and you can kind of talk, and you can see people's reactions. You can add questions. Yeah, you can add comments. So, if you have users in other cities, other time zones, then it's a good way to then include them as well. Because we've had people in, Australia and London and in Europe and Asia, and they're like, hey, you guys are doing lives. That's really awesome, but we're asleep, right? So, so we're like, okay, we got to figure this way out, unless we're willing to like do Facebook Lives at like 2 a.m., then we got to find another solution.
No, I like that. I like that. So you're saying, and you're finding engagement with those. So people are tuning back in because you invited to a watch party. They're alerted to that, and they're coming back in, and the dialogue is happening.
Yeah, the dialogue's happening, and what's cool is like they're talking to each other, and you're just kind of there in case there's any questions. But like people just want to engage, right? They want to talk to each other. They're coming back. They're coming back, right? Because I mean, the content, we like Jessica and all these other really awesome experts. They bring value. They're really teaching something, and so people come back all the time.
Another one that I've been trying out is the premiere, like the video premiere. So, for example, like for the new year, I asked a bunch of friends and experts on their tip on what is working, what's alive and working in social media in 2019. So had all them send the video, we put it together, and then you premiere it. So you're scheduling a live debut of this video to be released. And so kind of same concept as a watch party, but you're scheduling it and you're allowing people to get notified when the premiere is getting ready to go out. And then they can, get notified, of course, or subscribe to the channel and subscribe to more videos that way. But then they're able to react and everything in real time too. So I've done this quite a bit with some of the pages. I did that with that video. And honestly, that worked out really, really well because I wanted to include more people, into the video and include it. But I didn't want to just publish it out and push it with a link, back to YouTube, like you said, or upload it natively. It was another way of kind of getting people rallied around it, and knowing that it's going to come out right around New Year's, timely too. So
That's great.
Yeah, I love these
great.
new features that are coming out.
Yeah, I haven't used Premiere yet. So is that only for videos that you've already uploaded to Facebook, or
No,
any videos?
any video. So
Okay.
hadn't put it on Facebook at all. Like I had just literally got it back from our editor, downloaded it to my computer, and uploaded it there, and started from there. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna test that out. Yeah, we
Yeah.
love testing stuff here. So
Yeah, and you can take a Premiere and turn it into a watch party.
A watch as well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Doubling down.
Yeah, nice. And then you can transcribe it and turn it into a blog post. No, you can just keep going.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which then, turns it into a GIF, which gets on now. Just okay.
That's right.
So these are some awesome tips. Like I'm sure with interviewing some others, I mean, you've interviewed, how many people have you interviewed so far? Do you even know?
I don't know. Probably we probably had like 30 or 40, 50 maybe. I mean, since the beginning of since middle of November. So
you guys aren't messing around.
Probably 40 or 50. Yeah. It's fun.
Wow.
It's fun. Yeah. It also really improves your somewhat your camera presence and talking, and I mean you understand, so more practice, I guess. Yeah, no, it's great.
You know where to put the lighting now. And,
we got lighting now and stuff. Yeah.
It's awesome. But I'm sure you've also picked up some ninja tips along the way, with people talking about video and just all these topics in social altogether as it relates to, creating craveable content and also, pushing out and maximizing your video. What's some of your favorites maybe that you've heard?
Yeah. So I would definitely look into Loom or Vidyard. These are free tools to use them in your emails, right? A lot of people are just not, using them, not just on the front facing, social media, but also behind the scenes and actually using that to communicate with your partners, prospects and that sort of thing. I think that's a whole another conversation, but definitely look into the way that you can use.
You don't have to talk too much to Jessica. She'll subscribe to this by the time we're done with this.
I use BombBomb, but I want to check that one out
there you
too.
go.
And that's I'll share the video tip for 2019.
I can see it. See, I've been around her enough. I can see her. She was just,
I do this. Yeah.
I love them. I love them all.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, you guys are already doing that. So definitely do that. Use that behind the scenes. When you're doing lives, so it's for Facebook, even YouTube, the whole thing about retargeting ads is really key as well. So, if you are already, doing Facebook ads or YouTube ads, then just retarget the people that have watched your videos or have discovered you organically. It just increases your conversion rates, decreases your your cost per click, and all those things. So I know a lot of YouTubers that don't spend on cold traffic; they only spend on retargeting. So just something to look into. I'm not a Facebook ads or ads expert, but it's one of the things that we're doing here as well. Also build a community. I think it's really important to do all these things, but building a community somewhere, right? So if you don't already, I run across a lot of solopreneurs and content creators where they're just creating content, but then they don't have a place where they tell their audience to come together, right? So, build a Facebook group or a Slack channel or a WhatsApp group. Just build some place where it's central that you can communicate with your the people that really love you and are loyal to you and like your true fans. Bring them there. And then the last thing I want to mention is document your process. Creating content you can spend your whole day creating video content, doing interviews, going live and all this stuff. And so as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you want to document this whole process so that someday you may want to bring in a VA or a team member to take on some of the editing or some of the curation or some of the posting or some of the setup. It's really important to document your process so that you can kind of understand what you do and then kind of sub that out to other people. Some really great entrepreneurs out there and content creators that literally have like dialed this down to such a machine where all they do is record the video, they'll upload it to Dropbox, and then from there, the machine starts working where, you know, they have Zaps set up. If you guys aren't familiar, Zapier is a great tool. So basically, there's a Zap that will then email the notification to their VA who edits it, and then from there, just everything is just a machine. So yeah, document your process.
I like it. I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to get to that day where I just magically upload it and it just happens from there. What a beautiful day that would be.
That will happen. Yeah.
Yes. Claiming it 2019.
That's right. That's right.
No, and I love what you said. I loved all your tips, but I really love the community part, because I really feel like that's the key to really, really, truly getting people to come back, because it's going to take a community, right? And it's going to take evangelists for your brand and people that are really believing what you believe and standing behind it. And I love, you mentioned Facebook groups. We're a huge fan of that here. I know you had Bella Vasta on, where she has a great analogy of that. It's where, you're inviting people to the backyard to kind of hang out and spend some time together and really get to know each other, because I feel like that's where the magic happens, right? It's when you're in that community aspect, and then it helps you with your goals, because these people are evangelizing for you and driving more people your way. So I think definitely that's one step that is often overlooked, I feel, but that is crucial and key. On knowing where your community is going to live. So I really liked that tip.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, one last tip is is come up with I forget who gave me this idea, but basically come up with your content wheel. What is your topic wheel? So 3 or 4 things that you are really focused in on, right? So if you're a life coach, what is it? What are the 4 things that you talk about? One of my friends, Andrew from the UK, he has the 4 keys. Right. So it's all about business, relationships, mindset. And so he just talks about those 4 things. Right. He's not ending up talking about cooking, because it has nothing to do with his brand and really, at the end of the day, his product or his business. So, you could easily end up talking about something that's not related to your business. And that's okay sometimes. But, you got to have sort of the core things that you talk about. And that's where you build your authority. And that's what gives you opportunities to, go on other people's shows and podcasts and things like that. And so creating, and this is something that I've learned as well, is once you create sort of your own, whether it's a live stream or a podcast or a YouTube channel where you go live and you have guests, then the doors start to open, right? Because you have something to exchange somebody else, another content creator. And we've done this, just like this is exactly what we're doing here, Jessica, is you have some place to invite them, right? So hey, if you want, come to I'll have you on as a guest on my show, and I can be a guest on your show, and it's everybody wins, there's no competition there, even if we're in the same space. Collaborations are key. So if you can find a way to start with one thing, right? So start with either a Facebook Live show, or a YouTube Live, or even Instagram Live. You can do that as well. Super easy. And be consistent, do it once a week, and start there. And then you have something to exchange with another content creator.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love the wheelhouse concept. And Stephanie Liu came up with this 10 by 10. I don't know. I know she references it. I don't know if it's her original, but I'm going to give her credit anyway, because she's awesome. But she came up with this 10 by 10 because she said a lot of times she hears people when they talk about live video is that they don't know what to talk about, right? And she says, start with the 10 questions that you're most asked, and then start with the 10 questions that you wish people would ask, but they don't think to ask you because they're not you or in that space or have the knowledge yet to ask it. And if you can combine that with staying within your, your wheelhouse, which it would be because they're asking questions related to your brand, that's all you need really to get started, with creating that content that would be of value, because that you can use that for blog ideas, for video, for all of that. And just like you said here, just being consistent with it and staying within your wheelhouse, that's key.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just even on that, just be curious, right? So continue to learn and be a student yourself. With these Facebook Lives that we're doing, I love it when it's something that, it's like Stephanie was on and she was talking about live streaming. There's another gentleman, Jay Fissett from Calgary, and he was talking about JV and partnerships, which I don't really have much clue on. And so it's like, hey, we get to create content, but I also get to learn at the same time. Or we would have this conversation anyway, so why not share it with our audience and your audience? So
one to many in the same conversation. Yeah,
exactly, and include them, right? So they can also ask the questions. So we're just scaling conversations.
Yeah. We're just bringing people in. It's like this, hey, come on in, talking in the group, So yeah,
exactly, totally. Yeah, I was checking Mike's Instagram, by the way, and you do like the 2 minute with Mike, right? That's so smart. It's so easy. It's just 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. So
it was like the first one I've seen that had like the timer too, and we were like, everybody was like, "How did you do that? Show us your ways." Like
that's when I get the most comments, when it goes overtime, and it bleeps red and then it disappears, and they know I'm over 2 minutes and 5 seconds. They're like, "Wait, you went over?
What are you doing?" Yeah.
OCD is triggering right now. It's not working.
Totally.
Oh, I love it. And I love this conversation. I'm so thankful that you made time to be here with us today and share your wealth of information. And also excited that you'll be coming to Social Media Week Lima.
That's right.
Yay. You'll be able to meet Mike in real life and hopefully several of you all, because that conference is June 18th and 19th in little old Lima, Ohio. But don't let little old fool you. It's a massive, big impact and high energy event. You can find out more about the event and all that will be there at sociallima.com. So I'm super excited to have you there, Rob, and sharing more of this goodness in more detail for a 45-minute solo session there at Social Media Week Lima, with the topic being Craveable, how to create an irresistible brand. So tease those up really nicely. So
awesome. Yeah, I mean, biggest conference in the Midwest here in the U.S. and some huge, great content producers and speakers all coming there. Easy to get to, and I'm looking forward to that, and glad to hear you're going to be on board, Rob.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've never been, so it'll be. I'll have my camera. I'll definitely be a tourist.
There we go.
Yeah. Cornfield up there.
Hey, that's gonna be awesome.
Good. It was cute. Bella came last year, and she was like, literally did a Facebook Live. She was like, "I'm in a cornfield. I've never seen a cornfield." And then I come visit in Arizona, where she's from, and I'm like, "I'm seeing a cactus, like a real one." So yeah, traveling and new experiences. It's all good all the way around the way.
It's gonna be good. I'm super excited. Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys.
So if people want to know more about you, though, or Thinkific, where can they find out more? And maybe share a little challenge that you're doing right now with Thinkific that people can participate in.
Yeah, I mean, you can find Thinkific anywhere on social. At Thinkific is really easy, or thinkific.com. I'm on Instagram. Typically, that's probably my most favorite social channel, at Rob's other account. So that's me. And then you can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook, Twitter, under just my name. You'll find me there. So Rob Balasabas. Yeah.
Yes.
And what about that?
And the challenge? Yeah. So LinkedIn is one of the channels. I've been testing it last year for quite a while, just video specifically, and the engagement is through the roof. And I think it's a real opportunity for a lot of content creators to access, their target audience. So I've got a fun challenge. It's totally free, and maybe what I'll do is I'll send you guys the link, Jessica and Mike, and you can just post it in the comments. But yeah, it's totally free, and just go ahead, and it gets you sort of jump started into creating content, video content on LinkedIn.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you again for being with us. This was a huge value. Time flies so fast, but I'm taking notes over here. And thank all of you for joining in with us on the Magnet Marketers Training Tuesday Live. We will be back here next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with another special guest. So you'll want to tune in for that. If you've not signed up already, you can go to magnetmarketers.com, fill in the box there with your name and email address, and we'll shoot you an email with the link for the show so you can get the replay or join us live, whatever works good for your schedule. But as always, we appreciate you, and I appreciate you, Mike and Rob, for joining in with me today.
Yes.
I hope you guys have
Rob,
a great
so
remaining of your week.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. See ya.